All right. Pleasant morning, pleasant day, saints of God, here and around the world. Coming back to you, I have heard the cries of the people. I want to speak just very briefly on the theme of self-sacrifice. A lot of God's people, they don't understand what it means to make sacrifices for the Lord and sacrifice for the gospel. A lot of Christians, a lot of Seventh-day Adventists, a lot of present truth Seventh-day Adventists, we have not yet understood by experience. It is only by experience what it means to make sacrifice for the gospel and to make sacrifice for Jesus, and also to allow our faith to grow by trusting Him when it's not easy, by following Him when we can't trace Him, by believing when everything else is saying not to believe. The time of trouble that Daniel 12 speaks about, verse 1, there shall be a time of trouble such as never, and Michael shall stand for those whose names are written in the book, written in the Lamb's book of life. We have to make sacrifices for the Lord. I am learning, I'm still growing, we're all still learning and growing. Let me make it clear. Sacrifices are made when things are not ideal. I remember when, and I've spoken about this several times, when I was called to do a crusade. This is 2009, okay? We're talking about 16 years ago. All right? I was in my early 20s. And it wasn't ideal. The timing was not ideal. I was in school. So the timing was not ideal. The distance was not ideal. I was working in Kingston and this crusade was in St. Anne. And for those who live in Jamaica, you understand the distance. I could not stay in St. Anne just like that because I had work, I had school. So I had to make a sacrifice. This was a sacrifice I made. I paused going to school for 1 month. I moved for that month to live in St. Anne and traveled from St. Anne to Kingston early morning. My work time started at 7 a.m. I had to travel from St. Anne to Kingston to catch work every morning from Monday to Friday. Okay. And I was doing the crusade at the same time. And so I would go up in the afternoon. The good thing is that work was finished by 3 o'clock. And I had to travel up to St. Anne and reach in the evening to be prepared to do the crusade. And sometimes I was in the tent at the back and the program was going on. I was waiting to go up and speak. I was falling asleep. But God gave me strength when I stood on that podium to preach to a tent full of people. This was a district crusade, so there were several churches, about 4 or 5 churches that was involved in this crusade. And I'm telling you, some nights I was falling asleep around the back of the tent. The people would not know based on the energy of the preaching when I got up, but I'm telling you now, I reached home many nights after 10 and I had to get to sleep probably about 11. And I had to wake up back about 2 o'clock, getting ready to catch the early bus to reach to Kingston to get to work by 7 a.m. Only God carried me through that 1 month. The crusade was a great success. To God be all the honor and the glory. It was a youth crusade at the time, and I enjoyed the crusade. It was a blessing, but I was so tired that while they didn't want it to end and we were having a good time, I wanted it to end so I could get some rest. Also, remember, I missed class for 1 month. And the end of that story is that when I finally did that big exam for that class, I got the top award, not the top award, I got the top pass. The highest pass, that's what I got, because God rewarded me. Saints of God, we have not yet learned what it means to make a sacrifice for the Lord. I have heard the cries of some personnels who are unable to. They are unable to be at the camp meeting because they are not even in the country. Some people are unable to because they don't even have transportation. They are individuals who like the comfort of sitting in their homes without making a sacrifice for the Lord, and in the comfort of their homes, and to watch a live stream. They have gotten this habit post-COVID because they were trained in that way during the 3 years of COVID. This is not how it ought to be. However, I have decided to retract or to pull back on the decision to pause the live streaming. I said to you yesterday that yesterday evening, which would have been Monday evening, would have been the last evening of live streaming the presentations in the evening. So therefore, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday was not going to be live streamed. However, I've pulled back on that decision after looking at it, listening to some cries, and speaking to the Lord about it in my mind. And I said, you know what? A wise decision would be to continue the live streaming for the personnels who are really unable to be here, and for the personnels like visitors and persons who might not even be Seventh-day Adventists who might be watching. And the truth is, as someone said, you just don't know who might be watching. But I'm telling you, saints of God, the time is coming when God is going to make a separation between his faithful children of God, and they are going to be very few. And the majority of Seventh-day Adventists are going to lose out. They don't understand what it means to have faith or to make a sacrifice for the Lord, and time is about to wrap up. But we will continue the live streaming this evening, Wednesday and Thursday. And I still encourage you, saints of God, those who can sacrifice for the Lord. And look, don't allow the enemy to get into your mind as it relates to, oh, it's FTB or whatever. You need to move away from this and allow the Spirit of the Lord to work on your heart for what God will do and what God is doing even through this camp meeting. All right, so be blessed. Please, 2 things quickly. Sabbath coming when we close, it's communion. Come prepare for communion. And Friday morning, 8 o'clock, those, I've said it before, those who want to be baptized, we are preparing for baptism. Please do not wait until the last minute. Call, okay, 317-7718, okay, or 452-0277. You can WhatsApp us, please. Today is Tuesday. You have Wednesday, you have Thursday. All right? God bless. Remain faithful. Maranatha.